Hello, all you lovely humans of Earth, and welcome back to my channel. I have a very special treat for you all tonight. I am going to read a little excerpt of some of my youngest daughter's work, and I have got to brag on her for a few moments. I have to brag on all three of them, but I want to share just a little bit of my youngest's from her mind. She is an INTJ and very, very sharp. Like, you guys.
I don't know that I would have came up with something like this, and I certainly wouldn't have done it at her age.
But this says, in my short time alive, I have figured that when you tirelessly overthink and worry over a situation or being or object, ruminating day in and day out over it, you may as well say that time was completely wasted and doing nothing would have been better than sinking into your own cold pit of the absence of good. Your past will only mimic the future if you let it go through with its act. Your present is what makes the culmination of your being. So, right? I know. I was like, she read it to me and
I'm like, dude, dang.
So, anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys and brag on my kid for a second. But I want to get into the message tonight, and I felt like God was really laying, revelation again. Isn't that something? Again, revelation. So, we're going to go to Revelation 3, where it talks about, the Church of Philadelphia. I want to read that to you guys tonight because the message to this church has always greatly resonated with me. Always. And it's been insane lately how the Lord has been opening up revelation. Like, it's it's almost like, okay, the word revelation, it means to reveal. And I'm no Bible scholar, and I'm sure I'll probably have, somebody correct me. But, and whatever, if I'm wrong, cool. God will show me. But to me, it seems like, we're getting the revelation of revelation all at the same time, but we're all getting different pieces of the puzzle, and we're finding out that it's not at all what we thought. I mean, I don't know, but anyway, okay, we're going to read the message to Philadelphia. And to the angel, divine messenger of the church in Philadelphia, write, these are the words of the Holy One, the true one, he who has the key to the house of David, he who opens and no one will be able to shut, and he who shuts and no one opens. I know your deeds. See, I have set before you an open door which no one is able to shut. For you have a little power and have kept my word and have not renounced or denied my name. Take note, I will make those of the synagogue of Satan who say they are Jews and are not, but lie. I will make them come and bow down at your feet and make them know without any doubt that I have loved you. Because you have kept the word of my endurance, my command to persevere, I will keep you safe from the hour of trial, that hour which is about to come on the whole inhabited world to test those who live on the earth. I am coming quickly. Hold tight what you have so that no one will take your crown by leading you to renounce the faith. He who overcomes the world through believing that Jesus is the Son of God, I will make him a pillar in the temple of my God. He will most certainly never be put out of it, and I will write on him the name of my God and the name of the city of my God and the new Jerusalem, which descends out of heaven from my God, and my own new name. He who has an ear, let him hear and heed what the Spirit says to the churches. Okay, So what I wanted to point out in that is like, that's really cool, right? Basically what Jesus is saying there is like, so you've only had a little bit of strength, but you've kept my word and you've persevered in some like crazy trials. And so because of that, I will, to me, it seems like, oh, hey, these bad guys, these Jews that say they are Jews but are not and lie and are of the synagogue of Satan, you know, what I referred to in one of my last videos and how I showed you guys that, it's like, basically, it's like the Lord is telling them, you are going to be greatly rewarded. But then he says, if you go down, we're going to go back here now. And he says, hold tight what you have so that no one will take your crown. And then in the Amplified, it tells you by leading you to renounce your faith. So that's what I wanted to focus on tonight. That and just that I have been noticing people, you know, really, it's like people get that their identity as a saint confused with, okay, the whole sinners saved by grace thing. You know, people, it's like we don't want to go around speaking that over ourselves, just saying, yep, I'm just a sinner saved by grace. No, because now I'm a saint. Now my nature is changed because God changed my nature, right? Okay, well, but I think where people get confused with that is by assuming that because we have a new nature, we have on the nature of God, it's like that we're sinless, or that, you know, we're just exempt. And that's where people get into trouble right there, is by thinking that because, okay, I'm not referring to myself as a sinner saved by grace anymore, I'm actually a saint, then so they get to thinking that, oh, I can't do anything wrong. And that's what trips them up. That's what leads them to renounce their faith. If you'll notice throughout with all the 7 churches of Asia Minor that Jesus is talking to here, he's telling them, like, be careful you don't get your lampstand blown out, basically. So he's saying, you know, you still, it's okay. Like, we still can very easily come into agreement with something, with either a lie or with a demon, straight up. God has shown me over and over and over and over again, especially last year, how easy it is to come into agreement with something and have that thing like poison you for a little while. And so Jesus, I feel like, is warning this church, listen, even though you are going to be greatly rewarded, you are also going to need to stay humble. Like, and then I was, see, the Lord will speak to me throughout the day about what he's wanting me to do a video on. And as he was speaking to me about that today, he reminded me. So remember Paul's thorn in the flesh? And I'm like, yeah, Lord. And he's like, why don't you read through that again? And so I'm going to read it to you guys. Okay. And this can be found in 2 Corinthians 12. Now, we're starting in verse 7. It says, because of the surpassing greatness and extraordinary nature of the revelations which I received from God, for this reason, to keep me from thinking of myself as important, a thorn in the flesh was given to me, a messenger of Satan to torment and harass me, to keep me from exalting myself. Concerning this, I pleaded with the Lord 3 times that it might leave me. But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you. My loving kindness and mercy are more than enough, always available regardless of the situation. For my power is being perfected and is completed and shows itself most effectively in your weakness. Therefore, this is Paul now, I will all the more gladly boast in my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may completely enfold me and may dwell in me. Okay, God reminded me of that today because, you know, we always beat ourselves up. I mean, I've noticed with like a bunch of my friends, and I've heard this from so many others too, just we beat ourselves up for those things that we struggle with. And for those people, let's say, that smoke cigarettes, or for those people that have an addictive personality or whatever, it's that those are outward sins. Those are things that, oh, it's easy to see, right? But some of the inward sins, like pride and like, offense. I mean, people getting easily offended by things, people being too prideful to look at themselves in the mirror and always pointing the finger at everybody else. I mean, that's a sin. That's something that you're coming into agreement with. And so none of us are perfect, and none of us really are qualified to preach. None of us are really qualified. The only one that qualifies us is the Lord Jesus Christ, period. And so, God was speaking to me today about that thorn in Paul's flesh. The Bible doesn't say what it is. I have some thorns in the flesh. I will be honest with you guys. I drink kratom here and again, and I'm still not completely got my nicotine habit kicked yet either. I'm not perfect. I'm very far from it. And some would say that disqualifies me. But I felt like the Lord spoke to me about that today and said, this is a thorn in your flesh, because I could easily remove this. Easily. But maybe the reason why God hasn't taken you out of that situation yet, or removed that addiction yet, or, whatever. Maybe the reason why is to keep you humble, to keep you reliant upon Him, to make you realize that, wow, I'm no better than anybody else. Because what happens is, and I've seen this time and time and time again, is that if someone gets promoted really quickly, they start thinking that they can't do anything or say anything wrong. Their pride then blinds them from everything, because they think, oh, well, I got promoted, so I everything that just comes out of my mouth must be gold. Well, it is if you're in agreement with God, but if you're in agreement with pride, then you're blind to everything that you're doing. And so, yeah. So I just wanted to encourage you guys tonight. I'm not saying, yes, this is a license to go sin and go, decide, well, it's fine if I, watch that porn, or it's fine if I do those drugs, or it's fine if I go drink, or it's fine if I, go whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying go and do that. What I am saying, though, is whatever you're struggling with right now, you beating yourself up about it and beating yourself over the head isn't going to do you any good. But what is going to do you good is continuing to give it over to God, surrendering it to God. And I want you guys to realize that just the fact that you are struggling with something tells God that you care. It tells Him that you want to get over it. You don't want this thing to have its clutches in you anymore. You want to be set free. And so if that's your heart, that thing that you may not have overcome yet, it might be a thorn in your flesh to keep you humble. It might also be some type of thing you're going through for somebody else. Our struggles, believe it or not, are not always about us. So, anyways, guys, I really hope that message blessed somebody tonight. I hope that, at least that you got something out of it anyway. So, I'm not going to keep you guys any longer. But I hope that you enjoy your evening, and I will see you in the next video.